so check it out. Some of y'all probably have like a bag at home or something like that you're probably working with, and I've been sharing like drills and stuff like that for you guys to do. But you know, we can also start with some real basic like bag work. You know what I'm saying? So we'll recap a little bit, but we're always gonna go back to that jab. You know, yeah, weather is what it is. You know, you're either gonna train or you're not gonna train. So you gotta decide. For me, I just ran my 3 miles, and now I'm out here making a video. Gonna do a little bag work. And we're gonna talk about the essentials of kind of moving with the bag and how to use that jab a little bit. Then we'll add the 2 and the 3 in, so it's right back to the basics of just 1, 2, 3. So let's recap the fighting stance. What I built here was a little square with 2 little chalk lines, you know, about 1.5 inches apart. You know, and it's like another little crisscross here, 1.5 inches apart. This is like where the center of our balance would be, and kind of like how it's elongated rectangle. So I can use this for other drills later, but for today, the fighting stance. So in the gym, I get people to step on like a battle rope with their heel. Here, we're just gonna have their heel kind of in line with that second line. That's about 1.5 inches away, 2 inches away from this line. And the toe, the front foot, kind of right on the line on the outside. And then my groin, if you will, my crotch, is right over that center, you know, and that's our fighting stance. Now, when we're boxing, and we're not just in front of a bag hitting it, if I step to the left, I essentially want left foot to go first. If I step to the right, I want right foot to go first. Yes, there are times in which we might cross feet over and pivot and stuff, but, you know, that shit's for when we're fighting for World Championship. All right, so for right now, you know, we just want to get that feeling of, if I were to kick a soccer ball, right, my heel would go just past my front toe. Thank you, Hector, from near that to that tip. And my balance would be right over the center of this crisscross, and that's kind of where I'm moving. Where when my head movement's upstairs, I'm not getting too far outside, because that puts me on my heels and lose balance. If I bow over here, that's why this foot's off to the side a little bit. But if I get going too far, I'm off balance again. So, but that's why that right foot's off to the side, so I can get those little bows, those little pivots, and stuff like that. All right, so that's our balance. Now, let's talk about feet, all right? If I move left, my left foot goes first. I move right, my right foot goes first. Forward, front foot first. Backwards, back foot first, right? And they're all equal distance. 1 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch. Right, so we work on those things, just kind of forward and backwards, side to side, because eventually what we have to do is take it in this arch motion. Now, having said that, we want to think about what each foot kind of is, right? My front foot is kind of like, it's like where my rounds are going, right? I'm going through, that's where I'm attacking this, where that front foot is. My back foot is responsible for helping me change my angles to attack in different directions. So think about that as like what steers the ship, right? I change the angle of that foot as I start to shift that right foot, right? As I shuffle it around a little bit, you know, I'm kind of changing my angle of attack here. So as I'm moving around the bag, I can't just step straight, because I'll be away from the bag now. My angle of attack will be over here. I need to go over here. So as I'm moving around this bag, think about this foot taking a slight arch as we go, so I can always keep that lead foot right at that bag, right? If I'm jabbing to the left, right, same rules. Left foot goes first, bop, bop. If I'm a southpaw, same thing. Right foot to the right, left foot to the left. It's just which foot's our lead foot, right? So, having said that, we practice kind of forward first, sideways first, you know, with our jab, and we get better at that, and then we try to transfer it to the heavy bag. So if I'm coming forward, I'm trying to synchronize that front foot to land on the toe at the same time that jab's all the way out there. So it would look like this if I was going just forward. As I stepped in, I'm gonna drop my right hand so you can hear me talk. We really want it up here. As I step in, right as that left foot hits the ground on the ball of the foot, that jab's hitting the bag, right? Right foot should come right behind it equally. It shouldn't be like this. Shouldn't be left back there, right? So now if I'm coming in to attack somebody, bang, I step in, right? I can step in with that jab and hit them, right? Obviously we'll talk about synchronizing the two and bringing that with us in a second. So stepping side to side, right? I can do the same thing, stepping in with a jab or maintaining distance or creating distance. That's going to bring us to our 3 main uses that we use our jab for: to increase our distance, to close the distance, if you will, to the person, rather, to increase our distance from the person, to create distance, or to maintain distance as I'm circling for an attack at a different angle. So closing distance, I'm here, bang, I'm closing distance to my opponent, coming in behind that jab. I'm in too close, I want to create some distance, bah, right? I can step back and use that jab, or I can step off to the side, which we'll talk about in a second, using that jab, right? Or maintaining distance, I want to keep them on the outside, and I'm stepping around, maintaining that distance using my jab. So what we're going to practice is circling this bag a little bit, right, and maintaining distance in the beginning. So we'll just stop by going to the right as they jab. I'm still popping that front foot, but right when that front foot hits the ground, it allows me to kind of push my foot to the right a little bit. Obviously, there's probably a lot of different schools of thought on this, but this has got me, you know, pretty far in boxing compared to what I wanted to do anyway. So it works. If it works for you, use it. If it don't, you know, leave a comment, disagree with me, that's fine. Let's talk. People will learn their way. All right. So here we go. So I'm stepping to the right. I'm popping that front foot. I'm still pushing off the back a little bit, but I'm not taking distance. I'm just kind of getting that left foot to hit the ground and stepping to the side. Bang. All right. Bang. Going back to the left a little different. I can just kind of step and jab. Bah. All right. Bah. Bah. I'm making that angle with that jab. All right. So one thing you can do just by working with this bag with the jab is controlling the bag at a distance, timing it as it's come in to kind of discipline it to stay still where you want to hit it with the right hands and left hooks. A lot of times I'm teaching classes, that's what frustrates people, is, you know, the ability to kind of get that bag to stay in its own distance, its own place. So as I'm working the bag here, I'm jabbing it, it's swinging, I'm timing it as it comes in. I'm timing it as it comes in. Here's the swing, I'm timing it as it comes in. I'm slowly, you know, swinging this right foot around to keep my angle and my trajectory of my attack at the bag. As I'm coming this way, I'm trying to protract that right foot around. Right? I can get better at this to time the bag wherever I want. Right? I'm constantly moving around it as it's coming at me. Alright? We'll get into talking about bowing when we throw jabs and stuff like that. You know, a little bit of a different time, but we want to work on making those side to sides without crossing those feet over and just working the jab. Right? As you get better at that, that's when you can stop, right? And you can 1, 2. You can throw that right hand. We're going to work in that right hand in a different way because we still need to synchronize the feet. All right? So we're going to talk about that in the second video here in a second.